Okay, Philippa, I've brought your photo into Lightroom. As you see, I have done no adjustments as yet. And it's a little bit dark being on that side of the histogram. Okay, to put it into Photoshop, this is to select by colors. Change your photo by colors. Go to Photo, down to Edit In, and Photoshop. Come up with this panel. Whether you want to keep the Lightroom or go to the original. Now I've already put it into Photoshop to make things quicker, so we just exit out that. Go into Photoshop now. Okay, now we have Photoshop. With Photoshop you're working in layers, so first thing you want to do is just back up your original copy. So just drag that down to the bottom there, and that copies that original photo. You can turn that one off now because we'll only be using this one. Okay, so from this one, go up to Select, down to Color Range. Now we're wanting to adjust, in this case, to bring out the leaves, the contrast in the leaves. So what we'll do is we'll just click the eyedropper on a leaf, and as you see, it instantly highlighted all the leaves. To adjust it some more, if you haven't brought in all of the leaves that you wanted to adjust it, just come up to the fuzziness and just bring that up, and that will bring in more leaves, or take it down to take out more leaves or more of the color that you're wanting to bring in. We're going to go all the way up in this case. Click OK, and as you see, it's highlighted all the green leaves. So from here, just a quick shortcut is Control C for PC and Control V for copy. And that has brought in an extra layer up the top here. We just turn off the main layer, and as you see, that's brought in all the greens which we've highlighted. Just bringing that back up. So from here, with Photoshop you have to work in layers, so just make sure you got that layer that you're wanting to work on highlighted. Go up to, in this case, Image, and we want to edit the image, so just go to the adjustments, and we'll just bring the vibrancy up in this case just to show what it looks like. So from here we just want to bring the vibrancy up a little bit. I'll just drag that back a bit so you can see it happening. So we just want to bring it up a little bit with the vibrancy, and we'll do the same with the saturation. And press OK. So I'll just turn off this layer just to show you what it looks like, the adjustments that were done. Turning it off and turning it on. Just a subtle difference. Off, on. Okay, also on this, I've noticed that there's a bit of noise in the rock areas, in the darker areas. So we'll just do exactly the same with the rocks. Go up to Select, Color Range, and this time we'll take the eyedropper and we'll just focus on the rock areas. And as you see, that's brought up the rocks. We'll just bring this down a little bit, the fuzziness, so we're not incorporating so much. So as you see, everything in red hasn't been highlighted, but the rocks stay the same, so we've actually highlighted the rocks. Press OK again, and in this case everything but the leaves is highlighted. Again, Control C for copy, and Control V for paste, and that brings up another layer, and that layer is of course the rock areas. Just turn everything back on again. So because the layers that we're working on, like the green, which is the layer 1 that is over the top of the original picture, so therefore that's what you see. And layer 2 is the rocks, and that's what you see, any adjustments that are made. So once again, we'll go up to image, down to adjustments, and this time we'll adjust the curve. So what I'm going to do here is just to bring the shadows up a little bit. So come up to that side of it, just bring the shadows up a little bit. I'll show you what I did there. You see the shadows come up a little bit, and we'll bring the highlights down a little bit, just making that S-curve. This will actually flatten out the rocks a little bit, but we're going to adjust that. Click OK, and that's now made the adjustment to the rock areas and just brought them out a little bit more. But you see, we've still got the noise there. Come on, focus. So we'll just go up to filter. Because we're still working on the rock layer, this is all that we're adjusting, down to noise and reduce noise. This panel comes up, and as you see, the strength of it is 8, which is out of 10, which is quite high. So we're going to reduce the noise in it by a fair bit. Then go and press OK. Photoshop does it automatically for you. You can adjust it further than what it already is by adjusting the sliders, but just stick with that. So from there, turning off the rock layer, back to the original, see how much darker it is. Coming in, and the leaves. Right, so now we'll just export that back to Lightroom. You could just bring the whole image straight into Photoshop if you want, or if you're using Lightroom, you can jump between the two of them, and then go down to save, and that will automatically save it back to Lightroom, seeing as you started with Lightroom in the first place. Okay, now that's exported it back into Lightroom. Just adjusting that. That's exported back into Lightroom. So that's the photoshopped version and the original. You can do a lot more from a raw file because it's a much bigger file. Each time you adjust the exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, white balance, whatever, clarity, you take away from the clarity of the picture. So it's better to adjust in Lightroom with a raw file, or in Photoshop with a raw file. I hope this was some help, and will help some of the others to edit it a little bit better as well.